This is Due Diligence here, and today we're gonna make a big announcement for our channel. We decided to pivot a little bit in terms of how we invest and in terms of how we post videos. So we're still gonna have anchoring position videos like MMAT and Fisker and Expensify and other stock, and we're gonna introduce new stocks along the way. But at the same time, we're gonna start explain a lot of very simple or basic market mechanics and sort of like get into a little bit we're gonna simplify the process of how you're supposed to trade and what are some different strategies that you can use and some very simple ways that you can actually make money during a very volatile market and after, when the turbulence of the 22nd, which is supposedly the date where asset purchasing rates going to get slowed down and a huge portion of the market is going to probably, you see this week, a lot of people already pulling their capital out of the market because they think the equity market is going to suck in the next few weeks and month, and they anticipate a lot of big institutions are anticipating the rate hikes and everything. And if you actually invested in a lot of individual stocks instead of just investing in the NASDAQ index or the Dow Jones index or the oil index or the commodity index, the past few days is actually pretty brutal for you guys. Because most of you is gonna get in red, and a huge proportion of my profit also got eaten away because I was a little bit uncautious while I'm trading options in terms of commodities. And hopefully tomorrow you will see a rebound because you see, oil price, natural gas, all of the commodities are going back to their 60-day, 70-day moving average. And then due to the current inflation rate, it actually is not really going anywhere considered there's not like any real policy in place that will change that. Therefore, it's probably going to rebound into next week too. But in terms of let's get to the news that's going to be really exciting. What I plan to do is, because nobody knows when the big correction is coming, right? Is it going to be tomorrow? Is it going to be next Monday? Is it going to be next Tuesday? Nobody knows. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull out a huge proportion of my day trading and swing trading capital, and I'm going to actually just start small. Because what I realized is over the past few weeks and months, with all the masters things going on, and I get pretty distracted. And when I get distracted and stressed, especially, I don't really have a traditional Asian parents. I grew up in boarding schools, but then my own standard for myself for tests is like really, really high. And a lot of people rely on me to teach them the material that, we learn in school so that they can do it on a test. So then I end up spending a lot of time and efforts into that proportion of my life, which ended up with me not spending enough time with my followers, subs, and Discord members, Patreon members, as well as just myself spending more time in the market. So what I decided to do is, because that part is very stressful and I have no idea when it's not like COVID, I actually predicted when it's going to go down. For this one, I actually don't know when it's going to go down. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take out 50% of my entire holdings and then left out 50% in there. Those 50% including all of our long-term holdings and including short-term NASDAQ contract that we think is going to break. It's going to have another all-time high before the huge break, right? And then basically what we do is we just lean up our position and take out a lot of useless holdings that, we know that if the market actually going to correct, those holdings are actually going to severely suffer from market correction from the tapering. So I'm going to take those out, and we're going to take out $1,000 to $2,000 depending on how we finalize on Discord or on Patreon. What we're going to do is, on YouTube, we're going to give you guys either a bi-weekly update on our $1,000 challenge, which is we only use $1,000 to trade, and $1,000 and $1,000 alone to trade options. And then let's see how fast we lose that $1,000 or how fast we can double the amount of money. And for those of you who are interested in what kind of trade that we're going to get into, detailed trade recording, including at what time, at what strike price, and at what price we entered, either call or put or buy or sell these options, they're going to be cataloged on Patreon. So on Patreon, it's going to be like either a video catalog or have an Excel sheet catalog format. And then you guys are more than welcome to discuss all my trades on Discord, in a Patreon Discord. And for those of you who are just here to watch for regular content, we're gonna have you bi-weekly an update on that $1,000. You know, if it's we made $100, we made $500, we lose $800, we lose $1,000, so we made double the money, right? You guys will still have a regular update, but you guys won't have access to all of these very timely trades that we place, and we're probably just gonna do a highlight by the end of the week for YouTube members. Anyways, I think you guys will love that. I think Patreon members have been asking for that kind of stuff for a long time. And yeah, and again, those $1,000 we're gonna place highly risky trades. And usually because of how, you know, option prices are structured in the market, most of the time what's gonna happen is you probably can only hold, if you want to hold a monthly contract, you're probably going to only hold 2 or 3. And then we plan to clear those monthly contracts on a weekly basis. And if we were trying to play with weekly contract, we probably can only buy 4 or 5. So then we have to be very careful of how we distribute our asset in terms of what kind of contract we go into. And we're going to go into some very technical stuff on the chart, so then we got to make sure that we have consistent return on that $1,000. And hopefully we can double our money. And this is another way of strengthening my confidence, because I feel like my confidence gets destroyed a little bit because I made a couple of execution mistakes on commodity trading on an option market. So I really need this, and I know you guys need this. So yeah, this is the huge announcement I'm talking about. And regular video is going to resume because this week I ended up having pop quizzes, which is very, very annoying because I actually don't really like that class. And then it's a very tedious programming class. Nobody really care about, because the finance masters was gonna fucking be a, you know, what we call a coding farmer, right? We're not coding farmers, and due to how the economy is going, for software engineers, there's gonna be a huge job market shock in the next year and a half. Therefore, for those of you who are software engineers, be careful and then make sure that you actually vest your options, and make sure that you actually do a make sure that if you have financial advisors, tell them that you want to make a detailed vesting and exercising plan on your options, and make sure that you don't lose money in a market correction and you don't lose money in the job shock. Anyways, see you guys on the upside. Hope you guys love this video, and all of this $1,000 challenge is gonna start next. I think it's next Wednesday or next Monday, depending on how we're gonna structure it. On a weekend, you guys can have an update video this weekend, and we might just open up a new Webull account or Robinhood account, whatever. The reason why we pick those instead of Fidelity is because Fidelity is only good if you trade options on a very huge quantity basis, so you can actually call them and argue that, hey, like, I want this, ask them bid and this strike prices and that, like, you can negotiate with them. But for Webull and for Robinhood, it's for retail investors who just want quick liquidity, and when you clear your positions, you can use those money instantly. Anyways, this is it for the video. Hope you guys love those kind of content. Smash a like button and subscribe. See you guys on the upside.